Hello everyone. This video is going to discuss the story The Address. It has been written by Marga Minko. This is an anti-war story which is based on the theme of negative effects of war on human life. The narrator of the story loses her mother, her house, and many of her other possessions because of a war. However, before summarizing the story or the important points thereof, I would like to discuss two important literary terms which are generally confused with one another. These two terms are plot and summary. There is a difference between these two terms, and it is very important for a literary student to understand this difference. Summary of a story is simple mention of all the events of the story in the same sequence as they would have taken place if the story had been a real story. That means if a person's life is to be described as a story, then starting from the birth, moving on to his youth, then his old age, and then to his death would be the summary of his life story. However, plot structure of a story is the description of various events, not necessarily in the chronological order as they would take place if the story is a real life story. In this case, the sequence of the events is to be according to what the writer suggested. The writer may mix the chronology of different events, and that is what makes it a plot rather than a summary. For example, the different events taking place in the life of the same person whose life is to be presented as a story may be mentioned in a mixed order rather than mentioning them one after the other according to their occurrence in his life. Plot structure may include flashbacks and thought process. For example, it may have been noticed by you in some movies also that a person in the present tells something that happened in the past, and from present we move to the past. That is called flashback. The Address is a story that includes flashbacks. The story keeps on moving back and forth in terms of time. So we will discuss how the story moves back and forth once we have discussed the summary of the story. So let us first summarize the story to understand it better. Whatever happens in the story has been mentioned here. First of all, the narrator used to study somewhere, or she used to stay away from her mother for some reasons, and she used to visit her from time to time. Her mother's name is Mrs. S. So once the narrator was visiting her mother during her holidays, this is where the story begins if we have to summarize the story. She noticed that some of the household articles were missing. Some of the things that used to be in the house were not to be seen in the house. Then she also noticed that a lady visited her mother. The narrator had never seen that lady before. And then, when the lady left the house, she was carrying a suitcase with her, which was quite heavy. It was not easy for her to carry that suitcase. And later on, after discussing things with her mother, the narrator realized that she had filled some of their household articles in that suitcase. When the narrator insisted to know why she was carrying their things away, then Mrs. S told her that she was her old acquaintance, Mrs. Dorling. Her name was Mrs. Dorling. She was known to Mrs. S, the narrator's mother, from a long past. But we are also told as a reader that She had not been meeting Mrs. S for a long time, and it was just a while ago that she had renewed her visits to Mrs. S, renewed her relationship with Mrs. S. A war was going on, and there was a situation that the narrator and her mother might have to leave that place because of that war. So Mrs. Dorling had offered Mrs. S that she could keep her things in her house so that at least the things can be saved from the war. They won't get destroyed in the war in case Mrs. S had to leave that place. Now, Mrs. S was a very gentle lady. She was meek, we can say. So, she did not even ask Mrs. Dorling whether she was going to return the things later on or not. When the narrator wanted Mrs. S to ask this from Mrs. Dorling, then Mrs. S simply said that it was understood that Mrs. Dorling was going to return their things whenever they needed them. She believed that Mrs. Dorling could be trusted, and it was not dignified to ask Mrs. Dorling if she was going to return the things later on or not. Later on, Mrs. S and the narrator did have to move from that place. So, as Mrs. Dorling had said that they might have to move from the place, Mrs. Dorling, Mrs. Dorling's words came true. Mrs. S had to leave that place, and she left that place along with her daughter, the narrator of the story. Now, during the war, Mrs. S lost her life. The narrator returned back after the war was over. When she returned back, her house had also been destroyed, so she rented a small place to live in the same city. Now, because she had lost her mother and she missed her a lot, that is why she wanted to get her mother's things back from Mrs. Dorling. So, when she discussed about Mrs. Dorling with her mother on that day, when Mrs. Dorling left with that suitcase, her mother had also told her Mrs. Dorling's address. She had told it very casually. However, the narrator had remembered it somehow. So she wanted to visit Mrs. Dorling's house because the things that Mrs. Dorling had belonged to her mother, and she believed that if she could have those things with her, she would be able to memorize her mother in a better manner. So that is why she visited Mrs. Dorling's house. She wanted to claim her things back. So, to get those dear memories of her mother, she had to talk to Mrs. Dorling, and we have to keep in mind that she had never met Mrs. Dorling. So, obviously, Mrs. Dorling could not identify her also, and she also could not be sure if the lady she saw at that address was actually the lady or not. Now, I would like to mention here that this is the point where the story actually begins as far as the plot structure of the story is concerned. If you go to the text, you would notice that at the very beginning of the text, it is mentioned that the narrator visited Mrs. Dorling's house at the very beginning of the chapter. And then later on, through flashback, she tells what had happened when her mother was alive, how Mrs. Dorling had renewed her acquaintance with Mrs. S, and how Mrs. S lost her life eventually in war. So that is just to clarify the difference between summary and plot, and also to understand the story better. So Mrs. Dorling did not like the arrival of this girl. She seemed to be disheartened when the narrator introduced herself as Mrs. S's daughter. She did not even allow her to come in. She did not open the door for her. She said that she could not allow the narrator in at that time. So she wanted to get rid of her. So it becomes clear at the very beginning of the text that Mrs. Darling did not intend to give those things back to the narrator. The narrator also noticed that Mrs. Darling was wearing her mother's cardigan. Cardigan is a sweater. So she noticed that her mother's things were being used by Mrs. Darling. Anyhow, the narrator returned. After some time, she visited Mrs. Darling's house again. This time, Mrs. Darling was not at home, and her daughter allowed the narrator to come in because her daughter was not aware that the narrator was not supposed to be inside the house as far as Mrs. Darling's views were concerned. The narrator noticed that all her mother's belongings were present in the house. They had been put there in a very disorganized manner, and it was clear that those things were being used by Mrs. Darling and her family members, and also those things were not taken care of properly as her mother used to take care of those things. So because the things had been arranged in a careless manner, so the narrator was sure that Mrs. Darling and her family had been making use of those things. The narrator had expected that Mrs. Darling would have kept those things packed in cardboards, and she could just collect those things and take them back to the place that she was renting. However, that was not the case. Now, on seeing these things being used in a very distasteful manner, being placed in such a disorganized manner, the narrator suddenly lost interest in them. She did not feel the things attached to her mother anymore because now the things were being used by Mrs. Darling. The things were managed by Mrs. Darling in a very different manner than how her mother used to manage those things. So that means the things were no more associated to her mother. So that is why she was no more interested in getting those things back, and she ultimately decided that she would forget the things, she would forget the address, and she would start her life anew. Rather than depending on the past and her memories, she would try to start a new life. Now, the title, the address, comes from Mrs. Darling's address that the narrator remembered from a casual discussion with her mother. She visited that address, then the response she got at that address from Mrs. Darling, then the response she got from that address from Mrs. Darling's daughter, then the things that she saw at that address, the way she saw those things, and ultimately her decision to forget the address that symbolized her decision to start anew in her life. These things make the address, the title, very significant. Now we have discussed the summary of the story, that the narrator and her mother, they had to leave their place because of war. Mrs. Darling had already collected all their things in her house, pretending that she would keep them safe to be taken back by them. However, Mrs. Darling hoped that the narrator and her mother would die because of war, they would never return, and she could use those things forever. Now let us see the plot structure, how the same story has been presented by the writer before us. When we read the text, how do the same events come before us in a different order? The text begins when the narrator visits Mrs. Darling's house for the first time. Her confusion about Mrs. Darling's address being right or wrong has been highlighted. Now, whether the address was wrong or right, she thought about that because she was not sure if the lady who came out of the house was Mrs. Darling or somebody else. Now she got negative response from Mrs. Darling, who did not allow her inside her house. She just wanted to get rid of the narrator. So that is why the narrator left. And then on the way, she remembered how she saw Mrs. Dorling for the first time. She asked her mother who Mrs. Dorling was. Her mother told her how Mrs. Dorling had renewed the acquaintance and was carrying their things away. So that is how we come to know about what happened in the past. The interaction between Mrs. S and Mrs. Dorling regarding the former's belongings gets mentioned through flashback. So the interaction where Mrs. Dorling took those things away from Mrs. S, befooling her that she would return those things, they are things of the past and they have been mentioned in flashback. That means if we consider the chronological order of events mentioned in the text, then the things that happened first, that is the interaction between Mrs. S and Mrs. Dorling, these things come afterwards, and first the interaction between the narrator and Mrs. Dorling gets mentioned. The story keeps on shifting in the same manner from present to past and then to present again. Now let us quickly discuss some other important aspects of the story. First of all, Mrs. Dorling, a very important character in the story. So her main characteristic features include that she was a greedy lady. The way in which she felt very bad that the narrator had returned. It shows that she was such a greedy lady that she had no intention to return those things, although apparently she had promised Mrs. S that she would simply keep those things safe for them and they could be collected back whenever they wanted. Now, she was a selfish person and she was also indifferent. When the narrator told that she was Mrs. S's daughter, then Mrs. Dorling clearly showed that she was sad on seeing her. She asked her if she did not die in the war. So it shows that she was very indifferent, she did not care about other people, and she simply wanted her selfish motives to be fulfilled. Now, Mrs. Dorling did not care to visit Mrs. S for many years. However, when the war broke out and she felt that Mrs. S might have to leave that place, that is why she started visiting Mrs. S again. She fooled her, telling that she would keep her things secure in her house. However, she simply wanted to take those things away to be used in her house. So that means she was an opportunist. Opportunist is a person who takes benefit of every opportunity, even if it means befooling others or causing pain or loss to others. She did not hesitate in telling lies. She had told Mrs. S apparently that she would keep those things safe and would return them. However, she had no intention to return those things. It is very clear from the way she did not allow the narrator inside her house. Now, there is one positive thing that we could attach to Mrs. Dorling's character, that she probably took those things from Mrs. S because she cared for her family and she wanted her family to be in comfortable position. When the narrator went to Mrs. Dorling's house, she saw that her house was full of the things that belonged to Mrs. S. She hardly had any other possessions. So probably she wanted to arrange for comfort of her family, her young daughter. So that could be a reason why she behaved in such a selfish manner. Now the basic themes. Theme is any message that could be found in the text, any idea that could be related to the text. Generally every chapter has many themes. This is just like moral of a story. Now firstly, this is an anti-war story, so it clarifies how war kills people, dislocate them, they have to move from one place to another because of war, and they face emotional pain. The narrator lost her mother, so obviously she was emotionally very pained because of war, and it also destroys the property. The narrator lost her house. Now, human beings have an urge to memorize the old members of their families whom they have lost. The narrator lost her mother, but she still wanted to remember her, still wanted to to use her memories to feel comfortable in this sad situation. There is another tendency of human beings that they see material things as symbols of their relationships. The narrator felt that if she had her mother's possessions with her, she would be able to remember her better. Another aspect of human nature is that when we see something that used to be dear to us being used by somebody else, then we lose interest in that thing. The narrator desperately wanted to get those things back because she saw those things as memories of her mother. However, when she saw Mrs. Dorling making use of those things, then she lost interest in those things and the things were no more important for her. The need to forget past and to move on in life gets mentioned in the final statements of the narrator, where she decided to forget Mrs. Dorling's address. That means she decided to forget her mother's things and she would start anew. She would try to control her emotions without being dependent on those material things. So that is all for the chapter. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope all the points would be clear